Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, I got some housekeeping about our group cruise coming up starting this Saturday, only a couple days away. We have another outbreak on a cruise ship. It's a Princess cruise ship. It's not the one I'm going on, so luckily for that. We have Royal Caribbean, who's making it a little easier and cutting down on traffic for passengers disembarking some of their ships some of the times. We also have another Spanish area that is raising taxes on cruise ships once again. And if you're sailing on the Vision of the Seas today, your ship is not even going to start boarding until after it was supposed to leave. So quickly, I know it's very late, but I literally got emailed this morning from Groups Department with Princess. Our cocktail party on board for our group on the Sun Princess this weekend will be the very first sea day. The next day, when we get on the ship, the very next day is a sea day, and we have our cocktail party between 3:30 and 4:30 in the Dome. The beautiful Dome, that's where we had our cocktail party last time. It's a beautiful location, and yeah, lots of room for everybody to get in and enjoy. So just show up for 3:30 to 4. Cocktails are there, some snacks are there, and we'll have a chat and maybe some giveaways as well. Next, let's talk about the Vision of the Seas. Well, it had some delays. It was sailing in the Carolinas and it ran into some pretty rough seas. In fact, the captain announced that they were changing course and altering course in order to try and avoid most of the severe weather and the storm. But they still hit some pretty choppy seas, according to passengers who were on board. And the ship will be delayed arriving today, which means people who are getting off today are much later to get off for their flights. Hopefully they booked flights way later in the day, hopefully after 4 and 5 o'clock in the evening, because the cruise terminal itself is going to remain closed to anybody trying to get on that ship until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Passengers normally start boarding between 10:30 and 11 o'clock every day to board these ships. So to have it that late at 4 o'clock in the evening, and just that's when it opens. That's not when it's sailing. That's when it opens to receive passengers. So passengers are going to be getting out of their hotel around 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning and have to figure out all that time what to do while waiting to board the ship in Baltimore with their luggage, which is not always a fun situation. In fact, it's scheduled to open the terminal 1 hour after the ship was supposed to leave the port today. So it's going to delay disembarkation for everybody getting on their flights. I hope they make their flights. I hope they don't have any early morning flights booked. Never book early morning flights if you can ever help it. And of course, those delays getting on the ship for the next sailing. Not a fun way to start your trip, but things happen and you don't want to be sailing through the middle of a huge storm on a smaller ship. So if I was on the ship, I'll take that. I'll take that every single time. Next we have, in the Port of Miami, Royal Caribbean's trying to alleviate some of the stress and the traffic that's going to the Miami cruise port by offering a free shuttle during disembarkation to the airport. Now, this is not embarkation. That's not from the airport to the cruise terminal. It's only when getting off the ships. It's only a couple of ships. It's only the Symphony of the Seas. It's only the Icon of the Seas. And it's only on specific days. you get my drift? It's only going to be on those days that they have a lot of ships or an event happening nearby that might cause traffic. So yeah, it won't be every time. But for instance, the sailing on March 15th that's going to be happening will be included in this. So when you disembark on the 22nd, they are offering a free shuttle. Now, if you booked your transportation already through the cruise line, don't worry, you are going to be refunded the cost of that and they will reschedule you onto the free shuttles that are going that day. So it's not like you're paying for it, hey, now they're offering it free, you won't know. So if you book your transportation ahead of time and it turns out to be one of these free cruises, like shuttles, I mean, not free cruises, free shuttles, then you will automatically get your money refunded. And there, it's a little perk, but it's not every ship, it's not every time, it's just on certain days and certain ships. Next, let's talk about the Coral Princess. The Coral Princess was doing that Panama Canal cruise, and they got norovirus. Not surprisingly, a lot of ships are getting norovirus lately. It just seems since November of last year, we've been seeing a huge uptick, and that's probably because it's flu season, it's cold season, and it's also, you know, so many people are on ships right now. So many people. And so many people are also not washing their hands in places like the buffet when you should be. But our friends Allison and Gord over there at Let's Go Travel were actually on this cruise. And if you want to see some details of like some of the things that they do during a norovirus outbreak, like removing condiments from tables, salt and pepper shakers from tables and everything, head over to Let's Go Travel Tips and check out their videos while they were on that ship and experiencing the norovirus. And luckily it sounds like they didn't come down with it from the videos I've seen, so that's some good luck for them. But over 80 people on that one cruise came down, and that's not a big ship. It has under 1,000 passengers, 2,000 passengers. So that was a significant portion of that. And 16 crew members. 16 crew members on a smaller ship can really affect the service that happens on board as well. And finally, we have the Balearic Islands, and they're part of Spain. That, you know, Majorca, is that how you pronounce it? Majorca, or Ibiza. Well, they're going to be raising taxes on the cruise ships. They're going to raise it from €2 to €6 during peak times. Those are the, you know, June, July, August kind of months, and €2 the rest of the year, while the rest of the year is free for other tourists, and it's €2 for every other tourist coming in. So they're tripling it for cruise ship passengers, saying, and I quote, "We cannot continue to accept the collapse of our streets, the contamination of our city, and the endangerment of our natural resources, while the only beneficiaries are the larger cruise lines." And of course, all your businesses and restaurants and stores and tour guides and taxis and buses and all that. You know, there are some benefits to cruise ships showing up in your city, as many others have pointed out, and why they want cruise tourism in their city. But that's fine. They also failed to mention the fact that the Balearic Islands get about 19 million visitors a year. Of that, 1.8 last year was cruise ships over the course of the entire year. So about 7% is cruise ship passengers for over-tourism. Don't hear any mention of them. In fact, they haven't raised the taxes on other tourists coming in. And in fact, it's free to come in during the off-season. Of course, most people want to go there during the peak seasons of the summer, where it's party time in Ibiza and places like that. It's a very beach city, known for their parties, their rich social life, etc. But hey, another tax on cruise ships because, you know, they can. And you know, they know the cruise ships are still looking for places to go and have more ships coming online, and they're having their cruise ships last longer and longer and longer. So their fleets are getting larger and larger and larger, which means they need to have places to go, which means they're going to pay it. And in fact, we're going to pay it, right? It's us who pays, not the cruise lines. So the beneficiaries are not the cruise lines. It's just hitting us in the pocketbook. Well, let me know what you guys think. Have you ever been on a cruise ship that got struck with norovirus, and have they instituted different things, like suddenly you're not allowed to serve yourself in the buffet? The ketchup is gone from the table. Salt and pepper shakers are gone from the tables. Yeah, it can be a very interesting turn from the normal way of cruising. Let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.